Agatha All Along, the show that proves HRT was a mistake.
Agatha Sapphic. Make sure I'm reading that correctly.
Laugh! Because he's I mean, look, if there's a huge audience out there that wants to ship grannies, that's on them. I'm just saying they probably wouldn't be this thirsty if they weren't hocked up on horse urine. Look it up. Now, episode 2 doubles down on everything from the first one, is a show that makes Daniel Craig look masculine. Just that this episode is where they go around and recruit the coven. It's a bit like Ocean's 11. If 11 was their combined IQ.
Yep, let me see. What are you...
Seriously, they will shove anything in their mouth, won't they? But in a show where shipping becomes the advertisement and the corporate media, I think Aubrey Plaza and Catherine Hahn need to kiss already and get it over with. Because that's all we care about in TV series nowadays, apparently. Or where the showrunner can't even answer the simple question, did you ever think of showing Wanda's face in episode 1?
You have really stumped me. Sorry.
She's so well trained. Did you ever ask her? I don't know. What's least offensive? But the most astonishing news of all is that Joe Locke's favourite MCU character is Scarlett Johansson. I genuinely don't know why. My favourite bit is when the guy I was talking to was like, oh, that's interesting. Nobody really says that. And I'm like, no, that's probably just a product of who you're talking to. She'll definitely have some fans in the audience, including Grok, apparently.
What is your favourite Agatha one-liner?
I might get a job for Variety one day.
One of my favourites is when you go, coochie coochie coo.
You know what? I think I could have guessed. It's almost like I'm a medium seeing through the spiritual realm, the dead woman's intuition of my very own. Can't even put my finger on what it could be.
Oh, I'm so glad. That is...
You have a favourite one-line? Coochie coochie coo.
Oh, right. Oh, I'm so glad. Can we get me out of it? Can you save me? I'm so glad. Save me.
I'm so glad. That is...
You have a favourite one-liner?
Yes.
Do you have a favourite line? Yes. Yeah. Can't tell you what it is. I can't. It's like, whew, have you seen the time?
I can't say it, but I do.
There's no way I could say it. I just can't say it. If we just keep rolling for about another 90 seconds, maybe, I could probably think of something by then.
Okay, it's...
I've just thought of one. I'm desperately trying to remember my script from years ago when we filmed this before it was delayed.
Eat my ass, Chief.
And louder for the people in the back. Thank you.
You're back? I mean, yes, that is an instruction. Thank you. Catherine told you to. We start with Joe Locke bound and gagged in a stranger's house. Sure, it's not the first time. Agatha's getting ready to ditch everything because she knows the witches are going to come and kill her, despite in the last episode getting told that they can't kill her. It was a strange rule, that one, wasn't it? Can't make a good cup of tea, can't make a good sandwich. You really reach a point where it's like, well, what's the point? He tears off the tape though, he's like, take me to the witch's road.
Come again?
Didn't know he had the first time, to be honest. What happened? Did he get confused? If you make it to the end of the road, it gives you whatever you want most. And for some reason, she doesn't want to tell him about it.
The Witch's Road doesn't exist.
You're lying.
I'm like, what? All witches apparently know instinctually this song which summons it. You're telling me no coven has got together and just sung the song? Oh, look, a magic door's appeared. Yeah, it must be a myth.
That's just what real witches say to keep the amateurs out.
I don't even know what an amateur witch would be. Ones that still believe in astrology? I mean...
Road is no place for a kid.
I'm 16.
Oh, sorry, teen.
That's literally how he gets his name in the show, despite the fact that the trailer's already told us his name, and so it's not a mystery. Is it, Billy?
I don't know where you heard about the road.
Books, the ballad, legend.
No, it's a myth, though, except every witch knows a ballad about it. This is like being part of a professional theatre company and then going, yeah, but Shakespeare was a myth. He didn't exist. But how do all his plays exist, then? I don't know. Diversity, I mean.
It will kill you.
Didn't kill you.
Well, I'm exceptional.
Exceptionally retarded. The only reason we didn't kill it is we didn't want her to stay here. Prefer she pissed off home.
Well, I'm exceptional.
That's my point.
I tell you, if Agatha gets any more positive affirmation, she might actually grow a big arse. Because this guy just keeps going, oh, I'm obsessed with you. I've been learning all about you. It's so amazing. You're so amazing. I don't know how amazing you could possibly be.
That's why I saved you from the spell you were under. No.
What was that? What kind of directing advice you have to be given to... Oh! Just imagine you're slowly being crushed by a steamroller.
Spell you were under. No.
Basically, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? She says, though, if you can break a Scarlet Witch spell, why do you even need the road in the first place? And that's when we find out his motivation.
What's missing awaits you at its end. Power is what I'm missing.
Welcome to evil. I want unlimited power. With that much power, I can actually grow a full eyebrow.
Sounds like it's what you're missing too.
Power! This is another common trope of, like, femme-coded stories. I'm always after more power! This is what we think heroism is. She doesn't want the road, though. She wants to run right up until she finds the locket. And a piece of hair. Maybe I don't want power after all. Maybe what I want is my child back.
Who are you?
My name is.
Now this is interesting. That's what I always hear when characters in bad TV shows tell me their name. Oh, I'm Blur. My brain just goes, I'm not even going to bother remembering that. I actually didn't know his magic spell at first. It was just my brain's instinct to do it. Thing is, though, she gets all curious. Unlike me, she thinks he's actually interesting.
Say again.
I'm.
Literally what my brain hears. As soon as the name's over, it's already deleted. That's enough to change her mind, though. We're going to go down the road, but first we need to get a coven of witches together. I'm driving. All I'm saying is they keep making my jokes for me. First he gets run over by a pensioner, and now this.
This is not a car. Okay. That's
More astute than most people in that position, though. I congratulate you, dear.
You're driving.
She's more sensible, too. Safety first. We get an info dump about covens, though. They're the truest form of fate. They're the truest form of sisterhood. The only closer bond that women can have is if they go and watch the Barbie movie together. That was my reaction to the Barbie movie as well. Secret water tower. Now at this point, the show has to make something very obvious because, look, you're probably not going to know. This is going to be a surprise, everybody. As they're going along, his phone rings. Oh, a boy F is calling.
He worries.
How does he, darling?
Aw.
So,
Literally my reaction. Why on earth was this in the episode? Look, I know there's going to be a surprise for you, but he isn't actually into Agatha. Yeah! Well, we really had to nail it home. Who he nails at home. She tells him, though, that within any 3-mile radius, there will always be a coven of witches that you can form. Sorry? Do you know how many witches that would be across your country? Or the world? Right in the middle of the Pacific, there's just like a load of witches snorkeling. Go out into the outback and they're all fighting kangaroos bare-fisted. Probably shouldn't be using that terminology given the audience. But then Agatha describes to us the hiring process for a Disney Plus TV show.
All we need is a bit of talent.
That's what they like to tell themselves.
Even the most down-and-out witches, when in close proximity with each other, bring out a magical spark.
If you've got a bit of talent and have no dangly bits, we can definitely get 6 of you together and combine you into the talent of roughly a normal human being. I think that's why when we have an 8-episode series with 8 different writers, if you combine the entire thing together, it just about makes enough content for a 60-minute movie. Really wringing out the talent there. We hang by our first witch, though. She's detected her with her, well, it doesn't really say how. She's getting like ASMR tingles. Just kind of point her in a direction.
Welcome to the Curious.
Well, I mean, she does look like a total witch, doesn't she?
Good day, madam. We are hoping for a miracle today.
I'm not American, but is this accent as bad as I think it is? Keep expecting a guy to come along and go, ooh, Suki.
This is my boy, Buford. Oh, he doesn't talk much.
It's for the best. She says his father died and we're after some gold bars. Can you tell us the location of the gold bars? I'm really interested in that. Oh, and of course we want to talk to his father, so he's a little upset. But the gold bars would be amazing. It is a very believable lie to tell a medium that you're a literal gold digger. And so we find out how she talks to the other side. Either that or she's having a crisis. I'm not really sure.
brother.
To be fair, still on par with the singing later in the episode if they weren't auto-tuned. Agatha, though, thinks she's not a real witch as she's just gone along with everything she said, until...
You've been under the influence of another, someone you hurt. They took your agency.
Sorry? Oh no, she did something horrible to you. She took your agency after you tried to steal all of her magic. Wandavision was an evil cow who got everything that she deserved. Agatha is also on the same level, though. It was a stupid punishment to trap her in the spell when you should have just thrown her off a cliff.
For 3 years. It's not the first time your witchkin betrayed you.
What? Wanda didn't betray Agatha. Agatha was trying to steal her magic. This is like if you walk up to somebody and punch them in the face, and then it turns out that actually they're a black belt, and they just kick the living crap out of you. I can't believe you betrayed me like this. How dare you do something so horrific as defend yourself?
But you survive.
Unfortunately.
And I am not interested.
Nor should you be. Agatha's a lunatic. You've got a nice life here, ripping off desperate pensioners, selling them moon crystals that can realign their chakras. You don't have to put up with these two.
Bank statement will say Lilia's leggings, but that's just my side hustle.
Yeah, she can't make a living entirely ripping off pensioners. I mean, I hate to ask, but is she the model for the leggings? Would explain why it's just a side hustle.
What witch in her right mind would join Agatha Harkness's coven?
Oh, Oh. I do wonder how he can be a witch, right? Shouldn't he be a wizard? Is there even such a thing as male witches? They're called warlocks. Is it a prerequisite to act like this and be indistinguishable from them? I need to know. Although then we find out the quality of person that can actually stand Agatha's company. I'm sorry. Happened. Did someone make you watch Wandavision again?
You were the reason people think we poison apples and steal children and eat babies.
I mean, you'd have to have one first. But to be fair, she would do all of that stuff. Also, let's be honest, that description isn't just limited to witches. Listen to it again, but think about Disney.
Poison apples and steal children and eat babies.
Basically the BBC. But Agatha, for some reason, knows how to tempt her.
Beat it, Harkness.
I'm gonna walk the road.
Dun dun dun.
The road is a death wish.
She said walk the road, not drive it. Biggest danger you're gonna have is when she inevitably doesn't see a lamppost.
I survived.
That's because the driver's airbags are especially powerful.
Who is this child?
My pet. This is my pet.
First part of the show I think I can agree with. Who are you? I don't know. He just kind of hangs around and pees up my leg when he's excited. I've been trying to potty train him, but he still craps on the floor every now and again.
This is my pet. Say hi, pet.
Hi.
Can't even get that. She said say hi, pet, not hi. Oh, should have asked him to change a tyre on a car. Give him a real challenge. Lift up a moderately heavy object. She has a good response though. Look, if we go down the richest road and if we're successful and actually survive, which would be the bad ending, what's going to stop you just turning around and stealing my power? So Agatha tells her that I can't steal your power unless you use it on me. As long as you don't go all aggro and attack me, then I can't take it from you. Even I can think about ways around that. You get a knife and start attacking one of them, they're going to defend themselves with their power, then you can steal their power. This is the easiest thing to game in the world. That's assuming she's even telling the truth.
I can't steal your magic unless you blast me with it.
Maybe it's just me, but not being able to use your magic to defend yourself seems like a major weakness.
So if you show a little self-restraint, which, let's be honest, you're gonna need to,
Don't worry, love. We're all feeling it.
all that power is yours to keep.
Once again, if we notice, the main motivation is unlimited power. We're supposed to root for these people.
Join me.
Us.
Oh, don't put her off. She's doing her best to convince her and you're like, you're gonna have to put up with me. At that moment, though, she enters a trance. You know she's in a trance because
What is happening?
the kettle boils. Over here, we just use electric. I mean, I'm the last person to side with a load of insufferable witches, but if it's the only way I can get a good cuppa, I may have had to have led a revolution in Salem. Take it off the heat, you stupid bitch. I told you. In her trance, though, she listed out 4 names, which are the witches that she should recruit to the coven.
Looks like you've got your coven. Leave me out of it.
You're on here.
I would have at least checked the names before I handed them over. Oh, that's me, right? I'm going to scratch that one out and just write Steve. Take Steve. He can partner up with that one. As they go outside, though, looking for the next one, Agatha spots a crow. Dun dun dun. She seems really horrified by it, which totally confuses me. I thought she was into birds.
Who's next on the list?
That's how she feels when she's got paid to talk to him. Imagine how the audience feels.
Taste.
Ugh. Welcome to one of the most insufferable scenes of the show.
I'm being serious, ladies.
The clue that you shouldn't be eating that is that it's on fire. In fact, the only reason I can think why you would even want to eat something that's on fire in the first place is if you're going on a date with a woman and she's got a little bit of trouble with hair on her top lip.
Divine, right?
Stop eating candles, you slag. Yes, it tastes like boxed wine. Mind you, I drink so much, so does everything else.
So good. Yum. I know.
Don't say it's a pissing candle. Stop eating the furniture. Take her back to your house and she just starts chewing on the foam. We literally live in a world where a man will bring food to your doorstep, and yet you're so desperate to avoid even minor labor, you're eating candles. They probably eat the box of wine too.
My probiotic candles are perfect for both.
Probiotic? I'm not an advanced biologist, but I have a feeling that fire is quite antibacterial. I also don't know why these aren't just candles. These are bacteria-filled candles. Yakult.
Perfect for both ambiance and metabolic regulation.
What ambiance do they put out? Desperation. I also googled metabolic regulation, and it says the process by which cells and organisms maintain homeostasis. This show's maintaining homeo something, but it ain't stasis.
I am obsessed with these.
You're obsessed with... How many have you shoved in your face? I'm just there cramming them in my gob while they're on fire.
Especially because you do have to burn them before ingestion. It's an FDA thing.
Who's eating raw candles? And the reason you have to burn them before ingestion is to literally kill the bacteria that you said was in them. Who buys a candle to chomp on it. You can buy food. Oh, this is why I don't think freedom's a virtue. I am for oppressing whatever that is. If you enter this shop, you should only be able to leave by the back door, which just immediately makes you move to Australia, like the good old days.
But also, mandatory Zen time.
Mandatory Zen time. These people don't need Zen, they need education. They don't need to be eating candles, they need to be reading the first book in their life that wasn't Harry Potter.
I'm fresh out of marbles and my pelvic floor is all over the place.
I'm not surprised, love. The one thing that's 100% guaranteed to destroy it, a train.
Actually, you gals want to go splitsies on one?
What, your pelvic floor? I think between the three of them, they could probably manage to crack it.
Anyone? Anyone? Sisterhood of the Traveling Kegels?
I love the way those two girls walk out like they've got standards. The people who've just been eating a candle. They walk down the street, they're likely to start snacking on a lamppost. Like, oh, but I don't want to be around you. I've got more class. Now, this scene, if it was two guys, one of them would just punch the other one in the face. But of course, in a femme-coded series, we have to do it a different way.
I haven't seen you since I made a really pointed effort to never run into you again.
Hilarious.
Seriously, I would just appreciate it if you could just punch each other in the face. Agatha tells her, though, we're going to walk the road, and it's a chance for you to lift your binding spell.
You look amazing.
I know.
Thanks, Guy, for the affirmation. Nobody cares. Compliments only mean something from people I respect, okay? But they have a bit of a back and forth. You've lost the Darkhold. Well, at least I'm still a witch.
Like I care about that dusty, warty, snaggletooth community.
Acolyte fans? I don't know who you mean. The shippers?
Agatha Sapphic. Make sure I'm reading that correctly. Also love that handle.
Laugh! Because he's gay!
You don't fool me. You'd chew off your own acrylics to get back into the club.
The best thing about making makeup jokes is it's really relatable to the male-dominated Marvel audience. Then again, give it another 10 years, that might actually be true. But obviously, Joe Locke, sensing tension, dives in to save everything.
I love your Insta page, by the way. You totally minimized the size of my pores.
Yeah. I knew he had to have his strength somewhere. Turns out the only way you can end up like that is if you start eating candles.
Who's this? Another child sacrifice?
Which god would take him? And if you're like, oh no, maybe it's to the demons, do you think they would want somebody worried about the size of their pores? Demonic forces, renowned for wanting a beauty regime. I'm only going to accept a baby that's been eating candles. That's the rules. If they've occasionally been gnawing on a wooden bench in a park, that's an advantage. Tells her, though, I've really been concerned about your legal troubles.
Fraudulent misrepresentation resulting in consumer injury.
Yeah, that's probably when they started eating flaming candles. Oh, I'll just drink and my eye! Maybe that's how edible candles are part of a beauty regime. It's just that if you're stupid enough to eat a candle, then your genetics are so bad that second-degree burns might be an improvement.
Apparently some people needed skin grafts.
I didn't expect them to just repeat my joke, to be honest.
Shan.
I haven't been convicted of anything.
You were telling people to eat candles. I don't need a conviction. I just need 30 seconds of the TV show.
But 800 counts of it.
I'm sorry. You're saying 800 people were stupid enough to eat candles. Who are you selling them to? Oh, no, sorry. I was like, what kind of group would be stupid enough to find 800 people willing to eat a candle? We already knew the answer to that question, though, didn't we, really?
So good. Yum. Think I haven't tried everything to unbind, you freaky little miscreant?
That's where the believability of Agatha begins to drop through the floor. It's like, if she was that angry, definitely would have been dropping slurs. But with that, after having 800 counts of telling people to eat a candle, she decides that I probably should be going on the road with you so I can solve my legal issues. With 2 witches left, though, Agatha only wants one of them. And I guess after convincing witches, she feels a little bit peckish, just like the other women in the show.
Morning.
Yo, let me see. What are you...
Seriously, they will shove anything in their mouth, won't they? Maybe it harkens back to just spending days in the kitchen. They were just used to food being everywhere. Except for the time they would occasionally eat the oven. To attract the attention of the witch, though, apparently she's a security guard. So Agatha shoves something in his pockets.
Run!
All I'm saying, there are highlights in each episode. See that again. It's not the first time he's assumed that position. He tells her that, look, I need a protection witch to join me on the road, and then the moment her boss appears...
This woman just assaulted my nephew.
Did you just tackle a teenager?
Yeah, but what if the teenager is nicking things from your shop?
Your old lieutenant convinced me to give you a shot, but you've been nothing.
He immediately just signs against her because, you know, men make terrible bosses. She was obviously right, but men just don't believe that kind of thing. I can't possibly imagine what could have given him that impression. Maybe he's seen her eating a candle or something.
But bad luck.
Right, that means that she gets fired for doing her job of stopping stopping somebody shoplifting something. And the boss never even checked.
You're out of a job, and we're setting off for the road today.
Yes, it's a very basic plotline that they probably thought of on a napkin while they were shoving a candle in their face.
The road isn't real. You groupies don't get it.
Now, again, the story of the road not being real, it's just a song, but then you find out you can summon the road just by singing the song. No coven's ever just sung it before. We're not interested in stuff or things making sense, we're interested in the social dynamics, people.
What if you could finally answer the question that has been haunting you for most of your life?
Why don't we make shows for men anymore?
What happened to Mommy?
That's why they don't make shows for men anymore.
Dad issues.
As they're driving, though, Agatha tries to find out more about Joe. I don't know why.
Where are you from?
It's just funny to me that the show portrays the situation just how I always see it.
I was born and
This happens to me in every show. The instant one of them says their name or just starts waffling on about their emotions. It's like there's a mental switch that my brain just goes, I don't care about any of this. It allows you to watch series just through the highlights. But she starts testing things and it finds out I can hear everything else, I just can't hear him, including listening to the radio. And I have to say, this seems like the perfect superpower. You can literally just block out a particular individual, never hear him again. This kind of power hasn't been seen since Rachel Ziegler's husband.
it's nice to get to know each other a little bit.
I know you just as much as I want to, the exact amount.
Drive faster.
I can't stand being in this car with you. So Agatha comes back in the house and he's hung up like a welcome coven sign because somehow he's managed to be more effeminate than them. I don't understand. We're having a coven party. Except this one's very modern. We have electric lights and eat the candles.
Does this look centered?
Let me see. Maybe if I put it a little more to the...
This really shows the importance of characters, doesn't it? When Agatha is more in line with the audience than the bloke in the series. Do you not know who this show is made for?
No, leave it up.
Interest you in a pre-road appetizer.
What on earth is that crap? It looks like you've just harvested mold under your fridge.
They are old granola bars I didn't have much to work with.
Granola? What? If those are granola bars, what on earth is this? How old were they?
Oh, I don't mind a lapsed expiration date.
Suppose you reach a point where it just doesn't matter anymore. I also resemble the food. She's the human equivalent of getting breastfed by your granny. Doesn't really affect you too much, you just prefer your milk past its sell-by date.
High Priestess, you're bound.
And you need a chemical peel.
It's because she called her old. That's funny.
Hilarious.
You know, your face would look so much better if you poured acid on it. Like, seriously. At least she didn't tell her to eat her candle. Suppose to her, that wouldn't be an insult. She thinks that's genuinely good advice. Turns out, though, they're missing the Green Witch because she ate the piece of paper which had the name on.
Lily, its handwriting is so bad I can
What was the last name?
A heart?
A black heart.
It was Rio! Yes, they need to have another fight again so they can choke each other. Hopefully that's the finale.
That's because you used a black pen.
To be fair, that is a good point. Either way, though, not wanting to actually go and ask Rio, she just drags a random woman in off the street. It's the same woman that ran over Joe.
Well, you look fabulous.
Oh. I'm gonna be like, sorry I hit that guy who was clearly your friend. Sorry I almost killed the guy you were chasing.
Mrs. Hart was what Wanda,
Not being a witch, instead, it's just her surname. It's not even a real surname, it's a fake surname that was given to her. This is about as tenuous a link as you can get in a series.
It's just me and my green thumb.
And she does gardening, as well as running over 19-year-old boys. It's a mixed vocation. So Agatha invites a random neighbor over to watch witches do a spell thing, and we're just supposed to believe this woman's going to go along with it, which she does. Nobody knows why. The last time she was subjected to magic, it was a horrific experience. I'm sure she'd just really go along with the next one.
So, are we doing laundry together?
That's what I assume all women do when they get together in a large enough group. Some people are like, oh, sleepovers, it means pillow fights. No, it means doing laundry.
Why don't you head upstairs and let us just do our thing, okay?
We don't need you. You've got dangly bits.
Sing the ballad, and a door will appear.
So why does every witch think it's a myth? All you need to do is sing the ballad. The ballad is a famous song that all witches know. Why have none of them summoned the door before?
I'm an alto, is all I'm saying.
Get off me!
She's like my spirit animal. Joe, though, goes upstairs because he isn't a witch, and he sees the 7 witches coming to destroy Agatha.
Seekest thou the road to...
Yes, this is all very badly dubbed. Very obviously badly dubbed.
earthly and divine.
This goes on for a long time, by the way. It's a full song, so several minutes of just them doing this.
Down, down, down the road.
Don't worry, we're not gonna cover it all. As upstairs, the 7 witches appear.
Be gone.
Dun dun dun. Ironically, a TV show about them might actually be worth watching. They're not eating candles, they're pouring them into other people's eyes. Now that's a TV show. He's just seen the matriarchy. And they are ugly. So they start marching towards the house. Blood and tears and bone. Which is apparently what I think they're going to be turned into if they ever reach the house.
Mother crone.
Duh. So then they all hold hands and someone, ship 'em. This is what the chair in the hotel was made for.
The road is wild and wicked.
I love how she's overacting how she's singing, but you can also hear her voice, which isn't putting any emotion into it at all.
The road is wild and wicked.
The road is wild and wicked. Now, Joe decides that now he's inside, he can look through the window to see if they're walking towards him. They are.
All that's wrong is right.
That's it, man. You close the curtains. This is what you want of a strong masculine figure in a TV show. Somebody that knows how to fortify a house. He's the kind of person that if he heard an axe murderer walking up the stairs, he wouldn't defend himself. He'd just pull the covers higher.
All that's bad is good.
That's what they're hoping for this show. It's the only way it's going to be a success.
All that's wrong is right. All that's bad is good.
Yes, all that's wrong is right, all that's bad is good. Never before has the view of Hollywood been crystallized so clearly.
Hello.
What was she doing there?
We'll wander high and low.
Why are you singing like this at her? It's like, nah! Everyone else is just happily singing and you're there just screeching at one person in particular. So he gets the sofa and starts putting it in front of the door, which has no door in it. It's not hard to push over a sofa. I can't be the only... You would actually make it more difficult for them to climb over if you just put it on the floor. Oh, they can walk sideways. These witches are skilled.
Down, down, down the road. Down,
It actually reduced her to tears, and I've got to be honest, she's not the only one.
down the witches.
She's supposed to be the bass player. We could have got Joe in for this. We're like, no, make her do it. Down the witch's road.
Down,
You could have just sung Mission Impossible, loves. People would have liked it more.
follow me, my friend.
None of you are friends. You hate each other.
To glory at the end.
This is a load of people with a hole singing about glory. Clearly something they're particularly experienced in. The issue is, when they complete the song, nothing happens. There is no door. Now, Joe, after having seen 7 witches, that he had to barricade the front door, and he knows they're all coming for his house, decides that the best way to defend the house is to just sit in a chair. Go upstairs, keep an eye out, maybe prepare some kind of spell to guard yourself of the obvious onslaught. No, I'm just lazy.
Okay.
I mean, there's only a bit of smoke coming over the floor. I'm sure it's nothing, mate. Just continue to sit there in your corner. Seriously, you get what you deserve, don't you? You say, cast some pissing magic. Why didn't she cast some magic? Oh my god, oh my god! Someone feed me a candle! Agatha, though, realizing what's going on, is in desperate need of some magic to defend herself. So she starts trying to insult all the other witches so that they'll attack her and she can feast on their magic.
Are there any real witches in the house? Because all I see are has-beens and could-have-beens.
Now, to be fair, the best insults are true, so I think she's on point.
I'd die before letting you befoul it with your noxious mediocrity.
I think Agatha should review Hollywood TV shows. She's got some talent.
What a team of rejects.
True. Why wasn't the entire show like this? We could have had some more fun. Turns out, though, the door just turned up a little bit late, and I have a feeling it's not the correct door. At least this isn't how it's supposed to appear. Because while they're all willing to go down it, Agatha is entirely confused. Presumably, it wasn't them that summoned it, but Billy! He is obviously defending the house with all the masculinity I would expect. That's the male hero you get in Disney nowadays. Yep, this is a Disney show. But meanwhile, downstairs, they open the doors and just decide to walk on down. They could be entering hell, they have no idea. He's so brave, he's just like me, for reals. He's the male role model that we needed.
Is this the road? Because we should really go, like, right now.
Is it the road? Is it not the road?
Thank you.
Literally none of them care. So, off they go. All I'm saying, maybe the witches would have caught them if they weren't crawling around on the floor. Use your legs, love. We know your legs work. We've seen you use them before. So those witches try and break in through the floor. Can't do. And then... The ceiling seals itself in stone. This leads them to discover the Blue Brick Road, where they decide they're all going to take off their shoes like creepy little weirdos to connect with the road and the magic soil of it, and watch these brave harpies set off down the road to die, which would be a great series finale. I recently found out that Velma is coming back for a Halloween episode after watching Velma die. I had the perfect ending and then they just brought one back just to piss me off one more time. But with Rings of Power, Velma, and Agatha all featuring characters that I hope in their finales reach what they deserve, there's still hope that these series could lead to a satisfying conclusion, preferably with characters being spread to the four corners of the earth. But until that time, I will watch, wait, and live in hope, because the only other pleasure I have is watching them eat a candle, which is modern entertainment nowadays.